students, welcome to the e-session on Rights and Laws for Women. In the previous sessions, you would have been given a clear understanding of the status of women, their roles in family and society. By nature, though men and women share equally and they share everything commonly, and we say that the rights and laws are common for everyone, there are certain special conditions which differentiate women from men. Women are discriminated against men in all walks of life. Therefore, an understanding about the human rights of women will enable us to be aware of and be sensitive to their struggles and make us recognize their position. Thus, this module will introduce the various rights that women are entitled to and will discuss about the legislations enacted to protect them against odd circumstances. By the end of this module, you will be able to recognize various human rights that women are entitled to, know various legislative measures available to protect them, and understand the agencies of legal delivery system and their role in protection of rights of women. Before going into the rights that women are entitled to, first let us know what human rights are and how it is common and natural for women and men. Human rights are the inherent rights of all, irrespective of their nationality, ethnicity, language, class, caste, color, religion, sex, etc. They are the efforts taken to protect and safeguard the interests of people and secure equal rights to all without any discrimination on any basis. For example, people from Uganda or from Mauritius enjoy the same human rights as of their counterparts in United States or Japan or elsewhere in the world. Every human being is entitled to enjoy certain privileges because they are human beings. Human rights, when bestowed, allow an individual to develop and strengthen her or his personality to the optimum level, and when denied, expose her or him to many forms of exploitation and abuse. Human rights by their nature are inalienable and universal. They are applicable to all in all times at all places. They are not the concessions given by the government, but they are based on the very basic organization of human beings. So when they are denied, or when people are not aware of it, then they may be subjected to various exploitations such as unfairness, discrimination, prejudice, disparity, and domination. In the view of the gender discrimination that exists in the world today, special emphasis is laid on human rights. The fundamental privileges which endeavor and secure equal rights for women and remove all forms of gender discrimination are called as women's rights. Apart from that, women are entitled to certain special care and protection, and so there are some more rights endowed upon them, like reproductive rights. While in some countries women's rights are supported by the custom of the land or by their constitution through enactment of laws, in other countries they are totally neglected or suppressed. The exercise of these rights differ from one country to another and according to their claim or bias. Therefore, we find in one part of the globe, women are supported, endowed with their rights and treated equally, whereas in the other places, they are mistreated and ignored. Generally, the issues that are concerned with women's rights are right to bodily integrity and modesty, marital rights, voting rights, employment or work rights, equal wages, property and protection against any form of exploitation. Let us see now the major international and national legal instruments available to protect and support women equality and empowerment. The United Nations says that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, and everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms without any distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, birth, or any other status. Therefore, it is vital to understand the first document prepared by UN, namely the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. According to United Nations, there are 30 rights regarded as basic human rights that are protected in this declaration. After the Second World War, a committee headed by Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt declared in 1948 the rights that everyone in the world should have, namely the human rights. Today, all the member countries of UN have agreed to adopt the rights protected under UDHR. It recognizes the innate dignity and the absolute rights of people. Let us see now some important rights here. The first and foremost right is the right to equality. Every individual is born free with equal rights, and so she or he is to be treated equally, which means all human beings in the world are equal. Let her be an Australian or she is from Maldives. Whatever be the differences in terms of our nationality, our ethnicity, the class, caste, color, the religion we follow, the race we belong to, our political ideology, the language we speak, and our sex, we should not be discriminated against each other. The right to freedom. People have the right to an independent and secure life. They can enjoy their freedom and lead a safe life. Free from serfdom. We have no right to keep anybody as our slave, and also we need to accept others as our master or live as their slaves. Whatever is the kind of crime or any act committed by any person, there should not be any cruel method of torture, degrading treatment, or punishment to anybody. All are to be considered equally by law and have equal rights to use law. The law will not see whether you are rich or poor, educated or illiterate. It provides equal justice to everyone. Also, anybody can seek the help of the court to seek justice. The right to privacy. Nobody can intervene into the private matters of others. For example, opening their postal communication, accessing their emails, intervening in the family matters of others, and harm their name and reputation, etc. Moving on to the right to marriage and family, it is our natural basic unit. So every adult woman or man has the right to marry anybody and start a family. For example, a man and a woman from different states can marry and enter into marital relationship. Both of them have equal rights in marriage, in family responsibility, and in separation also, that is, even in divorce. Next to the important one, the right to property. Anybody can buy and sell and enjoy her or his property. Everyone can think, hold, and express her or his opinion, which is known as the liberty of thought, and viewpoints about anything with other people. Everyone again can participate in elections by standing in the elections or by casting their votes and form the government. He or she has the equal right to public services of her or his country. Moving to social protection, everyone can have the access to social security measures like affordable housing, medical help, education, nutrition and childcare, sickness and old age care. The weaker sections are to be highly protected under this. Another important right accepted worldwide is the employee rights. Everybody has the right to select her job, which she wants to do, and which she or he has the right to do a positive working environment. Women and men are to be paid equally for equal amount of work done. That is, apart from their educational qualification and experience, women and men doing the same or similar kind of job should be given equal pay. As the security needs are on the increase day by day, UDHR recognizes this, and so it reiterates that everyone should have certain minimum living standards and for a healthy family life. They should be protected with adequate food, clothing, housing and medical care. She or he can claim for security during odd circumstances like unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood and old age, which are beyond her control. Weaker sections like mother and children, old, disabled, need special care and assistance. Coming to education, UN gives a great importance. Everyone should be given education at free of cost, at least at the elementary stages. People should have access to practical and skill training. Initiatives of United Nations. The United Nations instituted a commission in 1946 which realized the need to draw the attention of the international community towards women's empowerment. A series of world conferences were held to discuss the women issues. Since 1975, the UN has held a series of world conferences on women issues, starting with the World Conference of the International Women's Year in Mexico in the year 1975, followed by Copenhagen, Nairobi, and Beijing. These conferences not only created an international environment to address the rights of women, but also demonstrated the disparity in dealing with the women issues by different cultures. It was felt very difficult in applying the universally acceptable principles to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of women. It is therefore essential to understand that all human rights are women rights, and women cannot be delineated from the basic rights which anyone enjoys. Let us take some time in addressing the national efforts taken by the Indian government towards gender equality. Indian Constitution prescribes the fundamental responsibility of the government towards its people and vice versa through an elaborately culled out fundamental rights and fundamental duties. The fundamental rights are defined as the justiciable basic human rights which are equal to all irrespective of their caste, creed, sex, race, place of birth, religion, etc. Gender equality and gender justice is enshrined in our constitution in the form of rights, duties and directives to the state. It prohibits all forms of discrimination against women and encourages enacting legislations favoring them. Apart from that, our constitution promotes and encourages the states to have certain affirmative and supportive plans and programs, especially for women and their development. A few important provisions under our constitution in this regard are fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and directive principles of state policy. Various articles which confirm these privileges to us are right to equality, prevention of gender bias, positive and affirmative action to promote women, equal opportunity in employment in any public office, and it prohibits prejudice, right to decent life, equal pay for similar work, positive working conditions and relief during maternity, protection of economic interest and encouragement of education to the weaker sections, improvement of nutritional and living standards, rejecting practices that attack the dignity of women, 1/3 of seats for women to contest for local governance, reservation for women for the post of panchayat leader, reservation of 1/3 of seats in municipality elections to women belonging to SC/ST, and reservation of seats for the post of chairperson in municipality elections to women belonging to SC/ST. From fundamental rights and responsibilities, it is clear that according to law, both men and women are equal and are entitled for equal rights. But in reality, it is not so. Therefore, while some laws are enacted to uplift the dignity and status of women, others provide support services, they try to eliminate atrocities and violence against women and guarantee equal rights. Therefore, we see two kinds of legal provisions applicable to women. One equally applicable to both women and men, and another specially intended to women. This can be further classified as various sections of Indian Penal Code IPC and Criminal Penal Code CRPC, personal or civil laws, labor laws, and then women-specific laws. The IPC intends to punish every single act or omission of any person contrary to its provisions. If she or he is proved to be guilty, they will be punished to death or imprisonment for life, for forfeiture of property or fine. Criminal laws, apart from other crimes, also deal with crimes against women. They are identified as rape, dowry, dowry deaths, physical and mental torture, kidnapping and trafficking of girls and women, molestation and sexual harassment, and they specify penalties for those crimes. IPC is concerned with different offences committed against the body, marriage, credit, modesty, and assets of women. The offences affecting the human body includes dowry death, abetment of suicide, offences relating to newborn child, outrage of modesty and sexual harassment of working women, using coercive force to compel her to marriage and slavery, wrongfully confining the kidnapped and abducted person, kidnapping or abducting child, offences as to slavery, offences relating to prostitution, buying minor for prostitution, rape, unnatural offences, adultery, etc. Now let us see how the personal or civil laws are applied. With reference to personal or civil laws, there is no uniform civil code in India, but of course, the criminal law is equally applicable to all citizens. The civil laws deal with matters relating to marriage, property, minority, guardianship, adoption, maintenance, and divorce. These are dealt differently in personal laws of Hindu, Muslim, and Christian or in any other religion in India. An in-depth scrutiny reveals that though Hindu women today, as per law, have the right to divorce, to property, to adopt, and to guardianship, it is not culminated into reality. For Muslim women, although the Holy Quran gives equal rights to men and women and places women in the high pedestal, still Muslim women are very much insecure, inferior, and are highly discriminated when it comes to matters relating to marriage, education, divorce, succession, and maintenance. Similarly, among the Christians or women belonging to any other religion in India, there is disparity in the rights of women as compared to men. All these personal laws confer only an inferior status to women when it concerns their personal affairs, and it has not succeeded completely in eliminating gender equality. Let us now take up labor laws and see what it provides for women. Labor laws are basically protective legislations which grant a special position to women in industries due to their physical inequalities. The working women are given due benefits, concessions, protection, and safeguards under different labor legislations to provide security against odd working environments. Apart from all other provisions applicable to men, women enjoy certain special privileges like maternity benefits with wages, prohibition of work in dangerous operations in factories or in mines, equal remuneration for equal work, etc. These important labor issues handled by these labor legislations are working conditions under factories, mines, plantations, annual leave with wages, health provisions, safety conditions, welfare measures, social security benefits, accident coverage, maternity relief, contract labor, and equal remuneration. But the irony here is all these labor legislations or the provisions are applicable only to women employees who are working in organized sector employment, and so more than 96% of women employees are not covered under them as they are employed in unorganized or informal sectors. With reference to women specific laws, they deal with various social issues and atrocities against women, such as trafficking, child marriage, dowry, termination of pregnancy, child labor, domestic violence, representation of women in media, sexual harassment, matrimonial relief, etc. Based on the periodical reviews and emerging requirements, new acts are enacted to defend and protect the welfare of women. But even after the enactment of these many laws, one could see that the violence against women is on the increase and civil and legal bodies are not able to prevent it. When the number of crimes committed against women is on the increase, what can we do? So, it is not enough that legal instruments are enacted and detailed modes of operations are culled out. The essence and benefits of this should reach the poor, marginalized, oppressed, and needy women. Therefore, proper systems should be put in place to ensure that legal needs and supports are addressed by the system. Rather, it becomes even more significant to impart and sensitize women with the existing legal systems or forums to address the issues of gender discrimination and ill treatment. Legal awareness is communicating the knowledge of the various laws enacted to support and protect women and to inform and educate them regarding the legal issues or procedures involved. It aims at removing their ignorance on legal provisions by creating awareness about the entire legal system, which in turn helps them to participate in the process of bringing a change in the existing system. It facilitates them to demand justice and bring effective solutions. Legal awareness helps women to recognize their legal rights and responsibilities, to demand for it and to exercise it. Women in conflicting situations can claim for a legal solution and can take necessary and appropriate legal actions. They also understand and try to access the legal systems like police stations and courts. Legal awareness programs are conducted with the objective of making women trust the legal system in addressing the women issues at crossroads, raising their legal knowledge, and supporting and empowering them to demand for justice. In India, efforts are taken by the national and state commissions to ensure empowerment of women. They scrutinize the execution of laws which aim at protection and equality. They also make efforts to impart legal information to women towards achieving equality and justice along with other stakeholders. They sensitize women with the rights and remedies, different systems available to address the women issues or grievances, the legal procedures to be followed in approaching the police or the courts, the role of police and court, etc. Their role extends to other concerns like electoral rights, voting rights, and participation in local panchayats. Some of the areas where women are sensitized are about family laws, criminal proceedings, procedures during arrest, claims at workplace, reproductive rights, and other social concerns. Moving to the other systems available apart from the usual courts and laws, family courts are the new developments in legal reforms with reference to issues concerning women. It is a legal setup created by the government to discuss and to settle family and domestic relationships. The concept was first introduced in the United States in the year 1910. In India, by the efforts of Srimati Durgabai Deshmukh and constant pressure from other welfare institutions, the Family Courts Act was enacted in the year 1984 with a view to promote speedy settlements and negotiations in family and marriage disagreements. According to this act, for every 10 lakh population, a family court shall be set up and judges may be appointed to deal the cases. They are permitted to settle the disputes by negotiation and pacification. Legal practitioners play only an advisory role here. Though the other civil legal systems are adequate to deal with the grievances related to marriage, family courts try to handle these cases in a friendly environment because of the sensitivity involved in the matters discussed there, like validity of marriage, custody of minor, marital incompatibility, etc. But the shortcomings of the system are that it takes a long time to settle the disputes and the complainant has to undergo a lot of backlashes from the family and the community. All women police stations are yet another reform to deliver justice to affected women. These specialized units were first introduced in Brazil in 1985. These stations form part of the civic administrative system. The role of all women police stations or units differ from country to country in terms of their legal and administrative functions. Some are authorized to deal with domestic violence only. Some stations do not deal with sexual violence of any kind, while some others take up only the issues of less severe forms of physical violence. But generally, these stations address issues related to violence of any nature, let it be physical, mental, or sexual. Trained female police personnel are recruited with an objective to develop the capacity of them to take action on the complaints of the victimized women. They basically serve as an agency to report the incidences and support the victims through the provision of medical care, counseling, financial help, and assist them to take a legal course of action. They also provide legal awareness on women's rights. These stations, which are controlled by women police, are generally observed as a positive initiative taken by the government as they are easily accessible and approachable. In India, there are 499 women police stations across the country. These stations are set up in many states and are expanding their services to victims or survivors. As a result of this, the number of women coming forward to report the register, the incidences has increased. To conclude, This module is designed to give an overview of the rights women are entitled to. Human rights and social justice are fundamental to any society. In a free society, it is expected that women should fairly do well in different walks of life and enjoy equal status with men. Though there are national and international forums, instruments, legislations and directives available, the condition of women is still highly discriminated and not favorable. Women are occupying only a subordinate position even today. Therefore, suitable and supportive efforts are to be taken to encourage participation and development of women as they are deprived and denied of many rights and opportunities.